Hey y'all, and welcome to Bradley the Singing Chef, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Today I am going to hopefully help you be able to do your normal Thanksgiving feast, but on a smaller size. Right now in 2020, the COVID pandemic is going, and so you probably have maybe a smaller gathering at your home for the first time. I know that's a little bit sad, but you can still have some of your same favorite foods at your Thanksgiving or Christmas table. So today, instead of making a ginormous turkey in the oven, I'm going to show you how to make a simple bone-in turkey breast that'll feed probably 2 to 4 people or so, if you've got a smaller group of people celebrating with you around your table this season. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to roast this turkey in a roasting pan that I have here set up with a grate underneath it. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually create sort of a rub to put all over this beautiful bone-in, skin-on turkey breast that I have here. So the first thing you need is I have a stick of butter. Shocking, I know, the singing chef to start with butter. This is salted butter, and it is at room temperature. That's really, really important because we're going to make this into a rub of sorts. You want it to be for sure at room temperature. Okay, the next thing that we are going to put into the bowl is a little bit of Dijon mustard, probably about I'd say 2 teaspoons or so. 1, 2 of Dijon mustard. To that, I am going to add some lemon. I want to use the zest and the juice of 1 lemon. So I have this one here that I want to first zest with my handy dandy zester, microplane. The zest has so much lemon flavor in it, you don't want to waste it by only using the juice. Trust me, you want to get as much of this zest off of the lemon and into this rub as you can. This is a really, really simple way. This is partly the way that I think about roasting those chicken breasts that I did earlier too, but this just adds a little bit more flavor into the mix with some extra ingredients. All right, there's the zest. Now I'm gonna take a knife, cut this lemon in half, and squeeze out all the juice, catching the seeds, and toss that in my garbage bowl down below. Same thing with the other half. This was pretty easy to squeeze, so I didn't even need to stick my knife inside. So that's the zest and juice of 1 lemon, and the other lemon is actually going to go into my roasting pan in slices. So while I'm in the lemon mood, I'm going to go ahead and slice through this other lemon. Just about 4 or 5 slices. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to place these slices, I'm going to take the grate out and place these slices of lemon underneath, and then put the grate right back over those lemons. That raises it up a little bit. That's going to help me, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Okay, so lemons are taken care of. Into my rub again. The next thing I need is some garlic. I have 3 cloves here. I'm going to see how much I actually need, because I'm just going to smash these to peel them, and then I'm going to use that same microplane to grate this garlic into the bowl, because we're kind of creating this rub. It's almost like a paste, and so I don't want like big hunks of minced garlic. So my microplane helps break down the garlic even further than a good mince would. That's 1 clove almost. There we go. Take those big chunks, throw them in my garbage bowl. Let's see how we did. Tap, tap, tap. Maybe 1 more of these cloves. That was a pretty big one. This one's kind of small. You just kind of eyeball it and think about the level of garlic flavor that you like in things. Some people that love garlic might want another clove in addition to this. I think I'm just gonna do 2 this go round. Same thing, grate into the bowl. Toss that, one more little piece. Perfect. All right. Get all of that off of the underside and into the bowl. All right, next thing, we need some herbs and spices. I'm going to take some kosher salt, even though it's salted butter. Still give a pretty hefty 2 to 3 pinches of kosher salt. That's what's going to basically salt this bird, so you want to make sure that you have enough flavor, okay? Same thing with black pepper. 1, 2, 3, into the bowl. All right, herb time. My 3 favorite herbs for poultry of any kind: thyme, lemony, woody rosemary, and some fresh sage leaves from my herb garden, which is just sage and turkey and cornbread dressing that I am also going to have. There's a recipe for that on my channel. Make sure you check that out to go with this turkey. Those are just the flavors that I think make the holidays for me, and they make your kitchen smell amazing. All right, so I'm gonna take the rosemary leaves, pull those off of the stem. That's also fresh from my herb garden. That is actually doing pretty well. It's my first attempt at an herb garden, and first I didn't have much success, but this last round of rosemary is doing very well, pleased to say. Same thing with the thyme, just strip the leaves back off the stems, toss the stems to the side. I'll probably get about 5 or 6 sprigs of thyme going into this pile. 2 more sprigs. There we go. All right, and then I'm gonna take my knife, and I'm just gonna coarsely chop through all those herbs in one fell swoop to get the rosemary broken down. In with the thyme. Run your knife along through all those herbs, scrape them to the center. Run your knife again. There we go. So that is the rosemary and the thyme into the bowl of goodies. And then lastly, I'm going to take these 3 or 4 sage leaves. It does not take a lot of fresh sage to flavor something, so I really have just 3 or literally 4 tiny sage leaves from my herb garden, and I'm just going to roll those from the stem up to the top, almost like you're rolling a cigar. And then I'm just going to run my knife through and kind of chiffonade through this, making little strips of sage. And then I'm going to go the other direction to break it down even further from that chiffonade. That looks pretty good. All right, sage into the bowl you go. And that is all of the chopping for this entire recipe. All right, I'm gonna take a whisk, and with that, thank goodness this butter is actually room temperature. I'm gonna mash that butter into all those herbs, the Dijon mustard, lemon juice, lemon zest, to get it going. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is a pretty good glug of extra virgin olive oil. Maybe, I don't know, 3 tablespoons or so. That's gonna help get this all together into pretty good paste to utilize on my turkey. Get you to take a look at this. That's about the consistency that you want, yeah? Okay? Now, we're gonna get a little messy here, so prepare yourself. Like I said, I have this beautiful bone-in turkey breast has the skin on it, and that's part of the magic. So you want to make sure that you get the skin on with your turkey breast. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this paste and I'm going to slather it all over this gorgeous turkey breast. But I also am going to take some of it and I'm going to put it underneath the skin of the turkey. So just take the edge of the skin and with your hand and your fingers, just run underneath it all the way around, peeling back the skin but not tearing it, okay? You're sort of creating a pocket, basically, to hold a good lump of this paste that we just made. So I'm going to take that with a spoon, put it underneath the skin. 1, 2, maybe 3 spoonfuls, and then I'm going to use the skin to mash that all around underneath the skin near the flesh of that turkey. Then the rest of this, like I said, we're going to get a little messy, and that's okay. I'm going to put on top of this bird and slather it all around, getting into every little crevice of the turkey with that paste. Turn it over, take the rest, put it on the bone side, push it into the meat and the bones of the turkey all around the bottom. Now that you've got the bottom done, flip it and put it in your roasting pan sitting on top of those lemons. If you've got some extra, which I do, scoop all of that. Don't waste any of that good flavor. Get it all around this bird. Shove it down into the crevices, because every bit of that is flavor. All right, got a dishcloth here to wipe my hands. Now I'm going to go quickly wash them and I'll be right back. All right, hands are clean from all touching the poultry, but you want to make sure that you do before you touch anything else. Now that I'm nice and cleaned up, the last thing I'm going to do is a slight drizzle of olive oil over the bird, and then one more pinch of salt all over to make sure that I get plenty of flavor. Then I have some Chardonnay here. You can use whatever white wine of your choosing you would like. Or you can use chicken broth if you don't want to use wine, but I think white wine just gives this bird a beautiful flavor in the oven. And not on top of the bird, but on the side of the pan, I'm just gonna create kind of a little bath of those lemons underneath. Probably, I should measure this for good measure. I usually just eyeball it, but for your benefit, I'm probably gonna use, let's see. There's a cup. I think I need another cup. And maybe a half. All right, officially in this recipe, I use 2.5 cups of white wine. Like I said, I usually eyeball it, so I didn't know what I was going to measure. So yeah, about 2.5 cups of white wine in the bottom of your roasting pan. I have my oven preheated at 325. And the nice thing about just having the turkey breast is it's not going to take nearly as long to cook the entire thing and have it ready for dinner. It's probably going to take between 1.5 and 2 hours at 325. I'll check it, make sure my internal temp is okay, and then I'll bring it to you. I'll be right back. Hey y'all, I am back. Okay, so I just took the turkey breast out of the oven a little while ago. When I checked it at about the 1 hour 45 mark, it wasn't quite to temperature. I used an instant read thermometer, and you want to make sure that it at least gets to 165 degrees on your instant read thermometer, and then you're going to take it out at 165 and let it rest under some foil for about 5 to 10 more minutes, and that'll continue with carryover cooking, get you to where you need to be for the poultry to be safe. So make sure that you take care of the temperature of your bird. Let's take a look at what we've got underneath this foil. Oh my goodness, this bird looks amazing. I'm gonna take this off the cooking rack and put it here on my carving board so that you can see the glorious goodness that is this turkey breast. Look at that brown skin with all those herbs all throughout it, thanks to that paste that we put all over the top and underneath the skin of the turkey breast. Now, I'm not gonna carve this entire thing, but I am gonna at least get a little taste. So, let's get a little piece here off. Oh my gosh, it's so juicy inside. Put this over here on my plate. See what we got. Yes, there's so much flavor in that turkey breast. And it's the perfect portion, like I said earlier, for a smaller gathering for this Christmas or any holiday. It'll easily feed, I would say, gosh, 2 to 4 people and still give them some leftovers after the fact. I hope you will try this recipe for yourself. You won't regret it, trust me. That buttery paste that goes all over this bird is a flavor bomb in your mouth. Thank you so much for watching Bradley the Singing Chef. I hope that you will subscribe to this channel, like and share my videos. Eat well, love always. Bon appetit, y'all.